Of course, we've heard about many presidential scandals and sexual affairs, but then there was Grover Cleveland. Upon the death of his law partner, Grover Cleveland became the legal guardian to his friend's 11-year-old orphan daughter. His law partner had asked him as his best friend and a good man that if anything would ever happen to him, that he would be the caretaker and father to his daughter. And Cleveland, of course, obliged and adopted and became the legal guardian of the 11-year-old orphan daughter. Sounds great, except for the fact he ended up marrying her. Grover Cleveland married his adopted daughter, making her, when elected president, the youngest first lady in American history. Yay! But as crazy as marrying your own adopted daughter sounds, this is not the last time we're going to see Grover Cleveland on this list. We're going to see that this is not even the worst thing that Grover Cleveland ever did. President James A. Garfield met a pretty dubious end. On July the 2nd, 1881, Charles Guiteau shot the 20th President of the United States, James Garfield, just a few months into his first term. But the injury itself was not life-threatening. So why did James Garfield die 2 months later on September 19th? Well, number one culprit were his doctors, but interestingly enough, Alexander Graham Bell. Yes, the inventor of the telephone was actually working on a portable metal detector. And while doctors were having difficulty in locating the bullet, while using their infected, germ-ridden hands to poke around inside of the President of the United States, Alexander Graham Bell, while in town, offered his services and his new metal detector. The problem was, the metal detector was detecting the metal springs in the mattress underneath James Garfield. So the doctors were poking around all over Garfield's body, while again, not using any sanitary means whatsoever, because apparently in the 1800s, doctors scoffed at the idea that germs could actually kill people. Eventually, Alexander Graham Bell had an idea. He said, you know what? It's kind of strange that the metal detector keeps on going off, but the signal's pretty faint. So he got an exact replica of the mattress that the president was laying on, and then came to the idea, oh man, maybe this metal detector is picking up these metal springs in the mattress. But by the time he showed up to the hotel to share this news, James A. Garfield was already dead. But thankfully, at least, they were able to phone his wife and let him know, because Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. Many people have their personal favorite choices for who they consider to be the worst president of the United States. But that title is hard to grab away from Warren Harding. If you want to know what Warren Harding's presidency was like, picture Van Wilder, only as president of the United States. Warren Harding loved to have parties at the White House. He would have poker nights that included poker and literally poke her, as he would have orgies in closets, in all types of rooms, in bathrooms, all across the White House. During one of his poker nights, apparently Warren Harding, I guess, forgot his wallet. Warren Harding decided to start using presidential relics around the White House instead of money. He allegedly gambled away all of the White House china, including several historical items of clothing from previous presidents. Warren Harding, you scoundrel. Aside from holding the distinction of being the only non-elected president of the United States, Ford also holds a much more dubious distinction of being the only president to have two separate assassins try to kill him while in office. Even weirder, both assassination attempts took place in California just 2 weeks apart from each other, and both failed assassins were two completely unrelated women. On September 5th, 1975, Lynette Squeaky Frome, who was a member of the Manson family cult, attempted to assassinate President Ford in Sacramento, California. She had Ford dead to rights, but she forgot one thing. To have a bullet in the gun chamber? So when Squeaky pulled the trigger, all that happened was just an actual squeak. The metallic click of the gun, and then she was rushed by Secret Service immediately. And then just 2 weeks later, on September 22nd, 1975, Sarah Jane Moore attempted to shoot Gerald Ford in San Francisco. Unlike Manson family member Squeaky Fromme, Jane Moore actually got 2 shots off on the president, but both of them missed. And the final president to appear on this list is none other than Grover Cleveland. This is Grover Cleveland's second appearance on our list, and probably 2 times more than you've ever heard about Grover Cleveland in your entire life. As previously mentioned, Grover Cleveland ended up marrying his adopted daughter. But as I said, that was not the worst thing Grover Cleveland ever did. Before becoming president, on the night of December 15, 1873, Grover Cleveland, then 37 years old, raped Maria Halpin, a 38-year-old sales clerk, after the two had dinner together. Now, as if raping a woman wasn't bad enough, 9 months after raping her, she had a son. And this story gets even worse and sadder. After she had the child, Cleveland had the child removed from his mother and placed in an orphanage. And if that wasn't bad enough, he then had Maria Halpin committed to an insane asylum. When it came time for Grover Cleveland to run for president, he and his team had to spin this story. So of course, Maria Halpin was painted as a promiscuous woman with many sexual partners who drank excessively. His opponents tried to break this story at the time, but nobody was buying into it. So we can safely say that not only was Grover Cleveland probably the worst president of all time, but definitely the biggest walking shit sack to ever roam the halls of the White House. So I sincerely hope you enjoyed this, and if you enjoyed it, please check out one of our other videos or check out a playlist, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I've been Teacher Eddie, and I'll see you next time. And as always, shouting out the Patreons who keep things running here: the Chancellors, Elena G, Alex S, Cuckles, John Alonzo, Naval Colt, the Hollow King, the Principal Tier, Addison Lynn, Blue Tech, Chad A, Chris H, Chrissy, Clement, Freeman Stephenson, Joshua Stewart, Kiara, Laura, Lord Gandalf, Moody Kakari, Nathan, Quiet J, Rachel H, Robin, Robin B, and Vijandra. I've been Teacher Eddie, and I'll catch you next time. Fam!